anything about Roman Catholicism. They don't teach that in American public schools these days. You know, they kind of imagine that you'll sort of get the idea beamed into your head from the Lord himself, I suppose. So, at that time, as a youth, I was asked to be an usher in the church. Now, I was raised a Methodist. We do things differently. We are very much the Wonder Bread cubes and Welch's grape juice religion. Yes, we are very much the sort of bland, chapels here, and this place was ornate and it had carvings and all this, and I was feeling a little out of place, and the thing that was bothering me most was I do suffer from allergies. This was Pennsylvania in April, and I was suffering quite a lot, and I had only brought one tissue. Because I'm an usher in the wedding, you can't have a big wad of tissues in your pocket here, and you don't be back there, the reception line, hey. The tissue, you've been there, when you're desperate and you're looking for that little dry corner that might still be on the tissue. A little bit here. I was making good use of the tissue and waiting for the people to arrive, and I looked outside, and here come the cars. And the nice people are getting out of their cars. Now, I'm an usher, right? I'm supposed to escort the ladies in down here. I got to get rid of the tissue. I'm looking for a trash can. Remember, mankind is meant to suffer. There is no trash can in Catholic churches. It's a tenet from the Pope. You cannot have, thank heavens, though, they do have an ashtray in the back. Glop, boing, and I heard a splash. And the nice old ladies come in and they're doing this sort of thing. And I thought for sure one of the timbers in the ceiling was going to fall down and hit me on the head. Now I'm in another one. And God, he has a long memory. I mean, he remembers a lot of stuff, and I didn't think he was going to let this one go. So we went upstairs, and the service began. It was a beautiful service. It utterly broke my heart to see this elegant and beautiful lady in tears that day. As she came down the aisle, she sat in the front. The procession came by. The priest began his homily, and he began to talk about Dan the storyteller, a remarkable man whose stories delighted millions over many generations, and he likened him to another man, another storyteller, a man that people would listen in rapt attention. They would hang on his every word. And when he spoke, they would sit quiet and not move. And everything he said, and Susan was nudging me, and I kept going, stop that. Don't be that way, shh. When the service was finished, people were beginning to file out to their cars, and I asked the logical question, how do we get to where we're supposed to go? The funeral director rather tersely told me, just follow the processional. I said, yeah, but the processional goes through, lights and everything, and I don't have any of those little, orange cones to say I'm with a funeral or anything. And he said, you don't need them, just put your headlights on. All right, that's traditional, right? In a line of cars with headlights on. So we fell in behind it was a white Honda Civic, completely covered, in soccer mom bumper stickers. I am a soccer mom. Soccer is the ball. Yeah. My soccer kid can kick your soccer kid. It's just soccer everywhere. This was the soccer family. I thought, thank goodness, we'll at least be able to follow that. Until, of course, we came to our first red light. And all of the other cars, with their daytime running lights on, cut us off. And I frantically watched through this 2-minute-long light as soccer mom lady went over the hill and around the corner and disappeared. When the light finally turned green, I put the pedal down and I did. You remember Battlestar Galactica when they'd hit that thing taking off? I saw Susan do that. Went ripping around that corner to see a long, empty street with all sorts of side streets. I thought, what are we going to do? Fortunately, a wise man invented the cell phone. We remembered the name of the funeral director that was on the side of the hearse. Quickly grabbed my cell phone, dialed it, and we got a nice voice. I said to the man, I am with the DeCarlo service. We have lost the processional. Where are we supposed to be? And he said, do you know where the Walmart is? I said, no, I don't. I'm from out of the area. I'm not from around here. I don't know where the Walmart is. He said, okay. Do you know where the Getty station is? I said, no. I'll speak a little slower. You're obviously excited. I am not from the area. I do not know where the Getty station is. He said, oh, well, where are you now? I said, I'm in my car. I do not know where anything is. Don't make me say it again. I don't like repeating myself. He said, well, all right, when you come to the next street, tell me what it is. And I came up and I was saying, okay, street is Washington Street. He said, okay, turn left there. Okay. So we went down there and we turned on Washington Street. And I said, okay, what next? He said, do you know where that... No! I don't know. Where do I go from Washington Street? Well, he gave me this complex set of directions. And I said, okay, and that'll get me to the cemetery. He said, oh, no, that'll get you here. I said, I don't want to go there. I want to go to the cemetery. He said, yeah, but I don't know where the cemetery is. If you get here, maybe we can find it. I said, what is the name of the cemetery? He said, Park Lawn. I can't quite recall. The Park Lawn Cemetery. I said, thank you. Hung up the phone and said, okay, maybe we can ask somebody where... Wait a minute! I bought the map! I bought the map! Yay! Here it is, Park Lawn Cemetery. Here's us, Washington Street. Sue, navigate for us. Need to remind people, Sue's husband has a hobby. Sue, Eric, the buck from Domain of Our Own, he is a rally car driver. Sue kept telling me, quick, turn into this alley. I'm saying, Sue, there's room. No, turn here, it'll get us there. And I'm going down the alley and I'm seeing flies getting squashed between my door and the wall. We get to the end, she says, turn right. I said, Sue, that's a driveway. Just turn right. We go, and we go over the guy's lawn and through the hedges and down to the next road. Quick, left turn here, left turn. I said, Sue, I don't know. Okay, just turn left there. It's like a big dirt parking lot. To another alley, turned right, quickly, turn right. We turned right again and stopped right behind this white Honda Civic with all these soccer stickers. I said, damn, Sue, you're good. And she was. So we got in there and we went to the graveside, and it was once again, a very lovely service, very moving for me, saying goodbye to a great man who touched so many. And as we left the graveside, I said to the funeral director, Josie had invited us to attend a reception at the Villanova Diner. And I went to the funeral director and I said, you will tell me in detail, step by step, how to get to the Villanova Diner, won't you? He said, it's very simple. You only have to make one turn. Go out of the cemetery, go down this road. When you get to Wolf Road, turn right. It's at 5th and Wolf. 5th and Wolf, that's easy. We started down that road. About 20 minutes later, having seen nothing resembling Wolf Road, we got out the map again. Apparently, that little section of Scarsdale, the streets are so close together and so small, they don't really have room to name them. So all there are these little lines. And somewhere down here is the road we're on. Blundering around for another 10 minutes, we finally found Wolf Road. Hallelujah, we're nearly there. Josie is counting on us. We do not want to disappoint her. Okay, we drove up Wolf Road. We went under a railroad underpass. Sue said, oh, I remember, somebody said it's just past the railroad underpass. Beautiful. We got to 2nd Street. Great. 2nd Street. Now we're at 3rd. Now we're at 4th. Now we're at 6th. Wait, we did something wrong. Let's turn around. Here's 6th. Now here's 4th. Now here's 3rd. Let's look real carefully. Okay, well, this is 4th, right? That's a driveway, that's a building. And this is 6th. Let's turn on 6th. I turned left on 6th. The next street we came to was 7th. Maybe I wasn't going to get hit by a beam from the ceiling of the church. Maybe there were other ways. I was getting pretty frantic, so we went back onto Wolf Road, made double sure that maybe there's not like an elevated roadway over us, a 2-level roadway. So we decided, okay, we'll turn down 3rd. Maybe there's something up 3rd. And we went up, and obviously it's going into a residential neighborhood. This is not it, so I pulled a 3-point turn, turned around, and as I was coming back to Wolf Road, there was a nice man walking his dog. Now, I've gotten a lot of experience today asking directions. So I pulled over, and I rolled the window down, and I said, I beg your pardon, sir, I've got a problem. He said, you sure do. You're going the wrong way on a one-way street. I said, oh, heck, I better just. Then I heard, you! I look up, there's a police officer. You, over here! I looked at Sue, who did this. And when the officer came up, he was ready to read me the riot act. He was furious. And I had to say, sir, I'm terribly sorry. We're very upset. We just come from a funeral of a dear friend. We are trying to find the reception. We're not from around here. As soon as I said we're not from around here, he said, oh. That should tell you something. And he said, okay, here's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to stop traffic on Wolf Road. I want you to go to 2nd and turn right. Always do what the officer says. We did that. We went to Wolf Road, and we got to 2nd, and just down 1 block was the Villanova Diner on 5th. If you think I'm making this up, get yourself a map of Scarsdale, New York someday and look at it. Just don't use MapQuest, okay? We were very, very tired. We went in, and we went into this diner, and we stopped at the door, we both looked at each other like, okay, what next? But then we found Josette. We went upstairs. She sat us with some old friends of Dan's, and they reminisced a little bit. We saw some pictures of Dan and Josie when they were younger. Josie told some stories herself, which she has given me permission to relate. The truth should come out. When I first told a story of Dan DiCarlo, I related a story Dan had told me. That he met this beautiful lady in World War II when he, the heroic paratrooper, had leapt from an airplane, attempting to land in Germany, but the jump had gone wrong. They landed on the wrong side of the Rhine, wound up in Belgium, crashing through the roof of a home into the bedroom of the most stunning young lady he had ever seen, and it was love at first sight. Josie finally told me that Dan's story was a little exaggerated. See, Dan was actually in the motor pool. And his friend wanted to set him up with a blind date. Because in Belgium at the time of the liberation in World War II, it was the custom to invite American GIs to your home and serve them dinner. And Josie's cousin had met an American GI who said, "Yeah, you got a girlfriend from my buddy here?" So of course they had to ask Dad, right? Had to ask our father, but he said, "Yeah, it's okay." Josie told me that she had on her nice dress, and she walked into the sitting room, and Dan stood up and said, "I want the little one." I think I believe Josie's version. Well, Sue and I, afterward, we said our goodbyes, and we went down, got in the car. Whew, we did it. Now how do we get out of here? And as we got back onto Wolf Road, I noticed the same police officer walking his beat. I said, "I'll pull over and ask him." And Sue kind of stammered a little bit as I pulled over and stopped. She said, "You just pulled over on a crosswalk." Uh-oh. And I rolled the window down and I waved to the officer, and he walked over. I said, "Officer, I wanted to thank you very much for your kindness and understanding earlier. It really was very, very nice of you. I thought we might ask you another favor. Can you tell us how to get out of here?" He looked next to me and he said, "Is that a map?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Throw in the back seat." "Okay." He said, "Now do what I tell you." Go down to 6, turn left, don't pay any attention to any numbered streets. Just keep going till you get to 13th. Turn right, right, left, right, left, right, left, you'll be on the interstate. And we did, and we got on the interstate, and as we were getting onto the interstate, I could almost swear that I heard Dan's quiet, dry voice in the backseat saying, "Yeah, they've had enough." Which is exactly the sort of thing he would do. So Dan DeCarlo, this is to you. Let's switch gears a little bit to pop culture. Who here has seen The Matrix Reloaded? Who here liked it? Yeah. Who here thought it sucked? Yeah. Notice it was the same people.
I didn't say I.
That's bizarre. That's because you're like dim. But the very, very well-known anthropomorphic artist Kronos was visiting me. Look at me name dropping. I hang out with this big artist. Kronos was visiting me. And he and I decided we're going to go see The Matrix Reloaded. And we were going to go at a matinee. So we were getting ourselves ready, putting on our shoes, and we were just getting out the door when this little demon appeared on my shoulder. And I said, wait just a minute. And I went into my bedroom, and I could hear Kronos outside saying, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm getting changed." Now we can go to the movies. We drove to the movie theater, and I instructed Kronos, just stay about 10 paces ahead of me and pretend I'm not here. Which was fun. He happily went into the theater, and I followed behind him. And I got behind him in line, and when he walked away, I went up to the window and said, "What film is that man going to see?" The guy at the counter said, he's going to see The Matrix. "One, please." he gave me my ticket, and I went in to the theater. Now, it's hard to see in a movie theater where your friend is. So I immediately lost him and began looking. Striding purposely back and forth at the back of the theater, occasionally stepping in, looking at the audience, muttering a few things, and stepping back out. I thought maybe Kronos would walk by, so I simply waited at the back of the room. And a guy came by and said, dude, do you like work for the theater or something? I said, certainly not. I'm an average theater goer here to enjoy this cinematic production. Yeah, dude, cool. I did have a lot of fun after the film. I could see where Kronos was leaving the theater. So as we left, I couldn't resist kind of blending with the crowd and loudly saying, "My, what an amusing and entirely fictional film." 12,000, 12,000, 12,000, 12,000. Very good, carry on. So I like to think that I might have improved the theater experience just a tiny little bit for some folks. It might have been a little bit better if I still had a condition that happened to me on a recent trip. Recently, and by recently I mean back in April, remember the cool boss who sends me to Paris? Well, he sent me to England this time for a week. And he said, well, you know, it's going to be over Easter week. We don't know if they're going to be closed on Easter Monday. You better take 2 weekends on either side. I'm like, yeah, Jeff, I love you, man. Give me a raise. Give me a raise. England was magnificent. If you want to see the photos I shot, Jeff also gave me the company's digital camera, ostensibly for like taking pictures of chemistry things. I think I have one picture of a what is that thing? A vapor pressure apparatus, just to kind of prove that I did do some work while I was there. And there's like 200 pictures of here's London Bridge, here's Edinburgh Castle. You know, here's the police box Danger Mouse lives in Trafalgar Square. And one of my favorites is, here is St. Paul's Cathedral, and here is the taxi that almost creamed me because me, the stupid American, didn't remember they're coming at the other side of the street as he's taking his picture. Edinburgh was my last stop, and it was my favorite. It's an interesting city. You have